Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Backpacktrader training room for Tuesday, September 13th, 2022. Please note the required risk disclosure. This room is for educational and information purposes only. It is not to be considered financial advice. Trading futures, forex, equities, etc. carries substantial risk of loss. It should only be attempted with capital you can afford to lose. All right. Good morning, Miles. Good morning, Arizona Bob. Welcome this morning. That's interesting. That's the second time that's happened. Gone down from 4 of you waiting to two viewing once I get started. That's all right. So we have a little under 3 minutes to market open, and the YM has the potential long trade just triggered in. But that will wait for our 8:30 Central time, which is the exchange time for the YM start there. 9:30, of course, on my charts, as I'm on in the Eastern time zone. And NinjaTrader doesn't give me the option of setting my charts to exchange time. Crude oil, 901.16, long trade from 87.02. I don't know how many were watching charts at 8:30 this morning, 8:30 Eastern. So basically the opening of pre-market trading on the New York exchange. But right at 8:30, things went wildly swinging about. And we had that 5-minute bar going from session highs to way big move down to certainly new session lows for the day. So, and that's kind of where we are. Notice I saw the same thing in the Russell and the YM. Okay. How bad was it, Miles? The market certainly didn't like it. And market is open. And we did stop out of the prior trade. Soybeans has a short trade at 85.50. First short trade was too fast to catch. This one is certainly plenty of time to get in it. So soybeans is short. That's not where I want to be. I want that to be the money management. And soybeans honoring the 50 EMA. Looks like there's a lot of resistance at the 50 coming down there. Although the EMAs are starting to spread apart. So this could be and there's a full stop out. And the trend mode or the Hybrid mode kept us out of that long trade, unfortunately. That would have been a stop and reverse. YM, nothing doing. I'm virtually sure that short on the micro Russell would have been avoided. The long, however, should give you plenty of time. I see a wick on that second bar after the entry plotted. 17 seconds on that bar, so 18 seconds after the trade plotted. So 3 and 4. Targets 3 and 4. A nice trailer now. So as I say, crude with a small short trade, or small long trade from 87.02 hits targets of 12. Yeah, target 1's too small, so we'll go for target 2 and 3. 12 and 16 ticks, 28 ticks if you're not using a trailer. If you're using the trailer and trading only one of those two, or both for that matter, nice trailer up to 87.58, so 56 ticks on the trailer. One and done session. Inflation decreased last month and the market reacted like that. That's interesting. Inflation decreased but still high. Is that what it was? All right, back in another short on soybeans, this time a white trade. And now we have a potential stop and reverse at 92.75 for a possible long trade on soybeans. And not quite there, got to 50. And there's triggering long on soybeans. Rough start, so it's going to take us 2 or 3 trades to get positive here. And the Russell stopping out of its trade. The YM with a short at 938. First trade of the morning there. That may have been a little too fast to catch. Pushed down through that pretty quickly. Couple of trades on the pound Aussie this morning. There's target 1 achieved on the YM. 35 ticks. Stop at 937. As I said, crude with a one and done. Unleaded. 19-second bar for unleaded. Don't know if you're able to get, if it moved through too fast or not. But that would be a nice one and done. Target 1 of 79 ticks. Target 2 of 121. That was a big trade. It took the fourth bar to get the setup. So that made it a very large trade. But hitting both, actually getting to target 3. Going 2 ticks beyond target 3, bouncing off the 200 EMA and coming back, and stopping out at 46.17, which was 6 ticks below target 2. So 115 ticks on the trailer. If you traded target 2, you had over 230 ticks on that trade, and that is close between $900 and $1,000. About 950, I'd say, roughly. So one and done on unleaded. And you got a break even there. And that's there, and there, then a full loss on the short. So that definitely paid to be in that long trade and currently in a short trade. So now let's take a look at the micro NQ. 4 minutes after market open for our start, right in there. So we do pick up the possible short 3, and we got a pullback there. You see the very little wick on the top of that second bar. So 28 seconds on that second bar, definitely in that trade. Targets 2, 3, and 4 achieved, and trailing at 429.50. And the Russell with the short now as well. That's hit target 3 and trailing at 65.6. So 2 winners so far on the Russell, 1 on the MNQ, and the YM short being very successful. All 4 targets, trailer at 861. Soybeans, reverse to long, and then reversing back to short at 1488 even. Three losses there to open our trading. This one gets target 1, trailing at 88, actually 87.75 with our stop and reverse adjust is our break-even stop. And MNQ stopping out, triggering long, plenty of time to get in that. And the Russell stopping out on its trailer. YM is done. No, that RB trade was definitely a one and done. Just 2 contracts on that would have netted around $950. If you're trading target 2, if you're trading target 1, 500 on the, let's see what I say, 115. Yeah, that would have been about 475 on the trailer and 2 or 3 on the target 1. Okay, did you took just 1 lot to target 2 then, Vicky? 1 contract to target 2? That definitely made your morning, didn't it? All right, soybeans stopping out at 87.75 for a single tick. 12 ticks, target 1, 3 ticks on the additional positions, and now we're long. from 88.25. Another 12-tick target. Just below the 200 EMA. That's been a tough thing to get through this morning. Well, it's tested it 3 times now and been rejected. So maybe the 4th time is going to be the one to go through. All right, MNQ. That's a long. Not going to be able to avoid it. So that's a full loss. And now you're in a second long. Russell in a long. Plenty of time to get in that one on the first bar. Another 12-tick target on soybeans. Stop at 88.50, and that's all we get. So we get 15. There we got. So that's 30 ticks on the last 2 trades. We can take one more trade to mitigate our losses. Definitely a losing session so far. And the Russell stopped out. Looks like it hit target 3 on the nose. And then came back to stop out for a couple of ticks on the trailer. So that's win number 3 on the Russell. MNQ still in its third trade now. And a second stop out on the MNQ. Pound Aussie started off the morning at 8.32 with a long trade that went for a full stop, and that was a pretty good-sized trade, 22-tick risk. So if you're trading all 5 positions, that's 110 pips on full stop out. Then comes back up and gets in another long. We pick up 13 on target, plus 4 for the break-even stop. So we're picked up 17. So we're still down 93. And nothing new since then. Potential short on the Russell. And a short that we should be in on the micro NQ. Short trade on soybeans. 87.75 for the entry. If you miss that entry, I would push that down to 87.25. Make it go through. And it wouldn't have been a bad idea to clear this swing level at 87.25 initially, and that goes for a full stop out if you got in. If you avoided that trade, then you can take the long, because that would have been the last trade, trade number 6. If you avoided the short, you can take the long. I would take it. I would have taken it 91.70. I'd take it at the stop for the short trade, making it push a couple of ticks through the 200. So that is going to be a 9-tick target with the adjustment. And the Russell is short, so as is the MNQ. MNQ definitely got in that with the pullbacks there. Plenty of time for the Russell to get in, so both are short. And not both Russell and the MNQ having trouble deciding if they're going to really go down, push the session lows lower. MNQ is working down close to the session lows. Russell's up off its session lows a bit. Yeah, 1857. Yeah, it's about 10 points off of its lows. And now long. Actually, the Russell went to money management, looks like. And so, well, yeah, with break even on the short. And the long is definitely in the trade. We came back and touched the entry again. And the MNQ stopping and reversing to long. Although that's actually the third loss on the MNQ. That actually should end your session. But a good first trade, really strong first trade, still should have you positive. Okay, the Russell has hit money management. Stop at 67.2. Soybeans in the long, but having trouble getting away from the 200 EMA. Ten minutes to our crude oil session, 10 a.m. mini session. Small group this morning. Any questions? This will be my last day in the room for a couple of weeks, so it will be dark until Tuesday the 27th. Troy is also, I'm going to be traveling the next 2 weeks, as is Troy. So we are going to be dark. Well, I'm closing out the old house. We're under contract and supposed to close 2 weeks from yesterday. So I'm doing the final, clearing out the final pieces and getting it ready to turn over. Linda and I would have been glad to downsize, but we actually ended up upsizing to get the features that we had in Midland in the house here, and we still didn't get nearly as much storage in a larger house. All right, MNQ break even, as was the Russell. Now the session is done on the MNQ. And I believe that will finish the session on the Russell as well. Oh, the move is pretty well done. We moved 2.5 years ago. But since we moved right into the teeth of COVID, we didn't put the house on the market right away until the oil patch recovered. But that house appreciated almost 3 times, almost 300%. Well, considering it was paid off, it's not just a formality. That's going to give us a little bit of extra cash to do some things with. Okay. Yep, that'll be it. I'll be back on the 27th. Troy is going to be out through September and part of October, so I'll be running Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays in the room until he gets back, once I get back on the 27th. Nothing doing the pound Aussie. Oh, that's unfortunate. Looks like we stopped and reversed out of there, or that would have been a stop and reverse exit out of the long trade to finish the session on soybeans. Definitely a losing session there. So 5 minutes to crude oil inventory, or not inventory session, but okay, let's see what crude is. Crude is up. Back to session open levels after getting down low as 86.63, so it's up over almost $2 from there, and that occurred right around the CPI release this morning. All right, under 3 minutes. And we've got a get in sync short currently on crude. We can take up to 3 trades or 2 losses, whichever comes first, or of course, target 1 and positive. All right, that short trade stopped out, so we're flat. System is flat, and we're waiting for a new setup starting in a minute 50. So almost 2 more minutes to the session, mini session open. And another short. Still just a get in sync possibility. 88.28. That's 2 ticks above the 50. And it's 20 ticks to target 1. I think I'd make the 4 tick adjustment to take it down to 24. But we're not there yet. 35 seconds. Okay, the 50's come down now. You'd have to. All right, and it goes through money management, so that one is off the table. So we will wait for a new setup. Going through target 3. A solidly successful trade. And the market looks like it may be taking another downward move. Crude headed down, as well as all 3 indices that we're looking at. So the seller's taking over again at 10 a.m. Was there more news? Was there another news report, Miles? I haven't looked at Forex Factory this morning. And a long trade on crude. Long trade taking some heat, or just kind of meandering about there. And a short, stop and reverse short. $67. And that's just gone through. Target 1 is too small, it looks like. Yeah, it was just 9 on the original, so just 7. So target 2 has been hit. So that's going to be we'll have to see. 66 for the stop with the stop and reverse adjustment. Money management was actually 57. And stopping out. So that's not going to quite get us to positive. I'm pretty sure that's not going to get us positive. And a long 78. That happened on the 8th bar. Notice the magenta bar. And did trigger in at 78. Ouch. Reversing back to short and stop, full stop out. Yep. So that was the third trade, full stop out, not getting a chance to revert back to short. So that ends the session. And a down session, unfortunately, after some really nice trading earlier on crude. I was watching it before I opened the room, and we had some nice trades this morning. All right, that'll about do it for this morning. And we're down to just 2, so I'm going to call it a day. We'll see everybody in 2 weeks. Be back on the 27th. The room will be dark until then. So I will see everybody back here in the room on the Tuesday, the September 27th. You are most welcome, Miles. Look forward to seeing everybody again. Have a good one.